This is Furukawa, president of Nintendo. We will make an announcement about the successor to Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year. It's real. There will, in fact, be another Nintendo console. But why did it take so long? And why is it going to take even longer? In this same tweet from the Japanese Twitter account for Nintendo, it also states that there will be a June Direct, but there won't be anything about the next console within it. More than likely, this means we won't hear about the next console at all until well after the Direct. There was talk online about the system being delayed from a 2024 release, but surely we would have heard something between now and the last Direct in September. My question is, why is Nintendo hiding their next console from us? Going back to the launch of the Nintendo Switch, the existence of it was first known in March 2015, followed by an announcement trailer in October 2016, and the console being released in March 2017. That gives us a 2-year timeline from existence to release. Rather long if I say so myself, and that would mean at this point we should expect the Switch successor to release in May 2026. Quite a few months off from my original fall 2024 prediction. But this won't happen. Not even the biggest doubters of the Switch 2 are betting for it to release in 2026. Everyone knows it will release sometime early to mid 2025. So then what happened with the release time for the Switch? The Wii U. The Wii U happened. It was a failing console, and Nintendo was working hard to appease their investors. So get rid of the Wii U and announce that we're working on a completely new console. For more traditional announcements like the 3DS and Wii U, the period between reveal to release were much closer to a year. So in that case, we should expect this successor in May 2025, which is far closer to current predictions. But by this logic, the console still should have been announced much earlier. You see, if the leaks and rumors were to be believed, it wasn't until February when they supposedly delayed from 2024 to 2025. So surely, around November or December is when they would have announced it. Why have they been hiding the Switch 2 from us? In full length, the tweet from Nintendo announcing this says, "We will make an announcement about the successor to Nintendo Switch within this fiscal year. We will be holding a Nintendo Direct this June regarding the Nintendo Switch software, but please be aware that there will be no mention of the Nintendo Switch successor during that presentation." The main thing that Nintendo has dearly lacked this year was game announcements. The last Direct was in September 2023, providing us with Princess Peach Showtime, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and Luigi's Mansion 2 for release in 2024. A handful of first-party games were announced within the coming months, but nothing major. Then come February. We all waited and waited for the usual February Nintendo Direct to announce the summer releasing games. But it never came. We waited and waited a bit more for a March Direct. It never came. We played Princess Peach Showtime. We loved Princess Peach Showtime. Half of us at least. But then there was nothing else. The Switch had a pretty painful 2024. Of course, it still has Paper Mario, so it's not all bad. But it's empty, and it was the longing hope for the Switch 2 that kept it alive. Well, now we have hope for games, but at the expense of the hope for the Switch 2. So where do we go from here? What's the rest of the year look like? I always believed that it would make more sense to first announce the Switch successor, then reveal the games for it, including which games would be releasing on the Switch OG as well. But now it seems like they'll release all the holiday titles for the Switch and leave the possible releases for the successor up to anyone's guess. The rumored explanation for the Switch successor's delay was so that more games could be made for its year 1 releases. In my eyes, the best way to achieve this was to take existing games in development for the Switch and shift them towards development for the next console. Maybe release some of them on both, but wouldn't it make a whole lot more sense to save them for the next console? Yes, and they've done that before. Think of Twilight Princess, and think of, obviously, Breath of the Wild. But they're holding back. They're preparing a lot for this next console in ways we could never know of. Alongside the need for more games in the release year, there was also talk of the delay happening to allow more time for early production. It makes sense considering the scalping and rarity of all their previous consoles at launch, but it feels like there's more to this. They've been hiding the games, they've been hiding the console, they've been hiding the release date. Hell, the console itself is literally being hidden from several companies. They've been given access to it, but it's hidden in a box and all they can do is feel it blindly. There's a very specific plan for this console, and I'm equal parts concerned and curious. Nintendo's decision to keep the successor invisible to the masses is likely part of a carefully orchestrated plan to ensure the console arrives at the highest quality possible. And to do that, they have to kill the Nintendo Switch. But they can't kill it quite yet. Inevitably, once the successor releases, the Switch will plummet in sales, and Nintendo doesn't really want that. Over the next year, Nintendo will try and sell as many units as possible of the Switch, so it can squeeze past the PS2 and get the #1 spot for highest sold console of all time. But at this point, they should exclusively sell the Switch and ignore the next console altogether, because no one talks about it anyways. When is the last time you've heard anyone talk about that lame thing? Right? Well, if you've been on Nintendo YouTube at all in the past few months, you are surely aware and annoyed at the volume of Switch 2 videos, especially given how little we know, with this video most likely included in that. But perhaps that's intentional. There's no marketing better than free marketing, especially when YouTubers will make hundreds of videos with the slightest glimmer of new information arising. No matter how much Nintendo execs hate information like delays or specs being leaked, the marketing team adores it, because all it does is generate buzz for the next system. The longer they hold the console back, the more we urge for it. So in their eyes, hiding the system only helps them in the best ways. We'll keep talking about it, and they have more time to make it everything it needs to be, from having a reasonable amount of units available at launch to having Super Mario Universe, an epic adventure by Miyamoto, in perfect condition for us to play day one. But I suppose until then, and until the real announcement that could happen anytime between now and March 31st, 2025, we can go ahead and keep discussing what a gimmick is and why Luigi is so cute. But make sure to sleep 8 hours a night, and as always, keep cool. Bye!